right, today I want to talk to you about kind of a not a very fun topic. It's called ACE, or Adverse Childhood Experiences. What is an adverse childhood experience? Well, childhood trauma. Um, I'm sure the satanic forces know it well. It's the main part of their, satanic ritual abuse. This is where, you get people with multiple personalities, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, all of these maladies, these psychological maladies, they're all often a result of adverse childhood experiences. So this is my why. This is what I am trying to prevent, because I love kids. They're wonderful. I want them to have a good and happy upbringing. And the best way to ensure that is that their mother and father are good stewards and can raise those kids to the best of their abilities. Now, I'm not saying that even in the most beautiful and wonderful parenting situation that you're going to have an ACE-free childhood, but it increases the odds of less adverse childhood experiences taking place. So what happens is, usually from birth to 7 years old, children are wide open. They have no barriers. They have no ego protections. They don't have any sort of way to deal with the crap that comes from life sometimes. As people get older, they can deal with things. They can spot things and know things and avoid things that aren't good for them, and to deal with people who hurl bad words at them and things like that. The problem, though, is children they don't have that. And when a trauma occurs, they can take that trauma. What happens is the trauma ejects the soul from the body. And when the soul is out of the body, that's when the demons get in. And that's where, the addictions come from. That's why we have such an addicted society in America today, and a lot of the Western world. You can argue most of the world, but I don't know. I might say that America is one of the most addicted countries out there. England might be a close second, if not a first. People could argue the same thing with Australia. There's a lot of places in the world where alcohol and drugs are rampant, but the issue with using that alcohol and drugs is it's not going to make the pain go away. It's not going to get rid of those demons. So these adverse childhood experiences, they create this trauma response, and they are the ways that demons get in. So how can we reduce adverse childhood experiences? Well, number one, I think we can make better mothers and fathers, make trauma-free and demon-free mothers and fathers having kids and being ready to raise those kids, being a good match to each other and being as good as they can be on their own to then have kids. That's the first thing. The second thing is, hopefully mother and father have some sort of good religious practice, like whether it's yoga or Christianity. Those are some good ways to keep kids free from, ACE. But I think the real important thing is for mom and dad to be free of trauma, and they're very hard to trigger. I draw a chart, and the more triggerable somebody is, the more demons they have. And this is what we want to reduce. Like, this is my work. This is what I want to do. I want kids to come up in happy, healthy families so they have a good launch pad to get going to life. Because life is challenging, and having a good start in life is very helpful. So that's what we want. So this gives you some idea of adverse childhood experiences, or ACE. And hopefully it will inspire you to think about having kids in a way that protects them from ACE. So that's it for this video. If you want more information, please visit my website, www.beyond-dating.com, and you can get a free copy of my book, Sex Education You Never Received. This is for single men and single women. I want you guys to have the very best tools and tips and tricks that you can to find somebody who's a good match for you. Here in America and a lot of the Western world, we don't have matchmakers, and I think that there's maybe that's a detriment to us, because I think a good matchmaker who really knows what they're doing, I think they can put two people together that make for a good marriage. So that's it for this video. As always, the light in me honors the light in you. Peace.